What if the one person you trusted most, the one who guided you from the very beginning, was actually the one waiting for the perfect moment to destroy everything? Think about the Lord of the Rings for a second. There's no figure more trusted than Gandalf. He's the wise old wizard who shows up at the right time, says the right thing, and somehow always knows what to do. He's the mentor, the guide, the one character who seems untouchable when it comes to corruption. But what if that was never true? What if Gandalf, from the moment he first laid eyes on the One Ring in Bilbo's home, was already calculating? Already waiting? Already planning what he would do when the moment came? The events in the mines of Moria are supposed to be his finest hour, his sacrifice, his death, his rebirth as Gandalf the White, the upgraded version who returns to lead Middle-earth to victory. But in this version, the Balrog never takes him down. In this version, Gandalf doesn't fall into the darkness. He joins it, and then he takes the ring for himself. So let's rewind everything. Let's go back to the mines of Moria and see what happens when the Fellowship discovers that the one wizard they trusted was never on their side at all. To understand how this changes everything, you have to understand who Gandalf really is. In Tolkien's world, the wizards, the Istari, are sent to Middle-earth as guides. They're not supposed to dominate or rule. They're messengers, advisors. Gandalf is literally forbidden from using his full power to force anyone to do anything. But here's the thing nobody talks about. Gandalf is also one of the few beings in Middle-earth who genuinely understands what the ring can do. He knows it's not just a weapon. He knows it's a piece of Sauron's soul. And he knows, maybe better than anyone, that the ring tempts the powerful the most. And Gandalf? He's incredibly powerful. He's a Maia, a divine spirit. He's existed before the world was even made. So when he looks at the ring, it's not just temptation. It's conversation. The ring speaks to him the same way it speaks to Galadriel, the same way it speaks to Aragorn. And in the books, Gandalf makes it very clear. He refuses to even touch the ring because he knows what it would do to him. But what if he was lying? What if every time he said, "I dare not take the ring," what he really meant was "not yet"? See, here's the thing about this version of Gandalf. He's patient. He's been patient for thousands of years. He's watched Middle-earth make the same mistakes over and over. He's seen elves fade, men fall, dwarves dig too deep. And at some point, maybe during those long years in the wilderness, maybe during his time in Dol Guldur when he suspected the necromancer was Sauron all along, something shifted inside him. He started believing that the free peoples of Middle-earth couldn't save themselves, that they needed someone stronger, someone wiser, someone who would make the hard choices they were too afraid to make, someone who would wield the ring the way it was meant to be wielded. So when Gandalf joins the Fellowship in Rivendell, he's already made his decision. The journey isn't about helping Frodo destroy the ring, it's about Gandalf finding the right moment to take it. Let's walk through the story moment by moment and see how everything unravels. The Fellowship leaves Rivendell. They cross the Misty Mountains. They try to go through the Pass of Caradhras, but the weather turns against them. And here's the first interesting detail. In the original story, Gandalf is the one who suggests going through Moria. He's reluctant about it. Sure, but he still leads them there. In this version, that reluctance is a performance. Gandalf knows Moria better than anyone in the Fellowship. He's the only one who's been there before. He knows about the Balrog sleeping in the depths, and he knows that in the chaos of a fight, anything can happen. So he guides them to the doors of Durin. He speaks the password. He leads them into the darkness. Everything is going according to plan. But here's where it gets dark. In the original story, when they reach the Chamber of Mazarbul and the orcs attack, Gandalf fights to protect the Fellowship. In this version, he fights just enough to look convincing. He holds back. He lets the pressure build. He lets them feel trapped, and then the Balrog shows up. This is the moment. The pivot point. In the original story, Gandalf faces the Balrog on the bridge of Khazad-dûm. He says, "You cannot pass." He breaks the bridge. The Balrog falls. But the Balrog's whip catches Gandalf's ankle and drags him down too. In this version, Gandalf doesn't say, "You cannot pass." He steps aside. The Balrog surges forward. The Fellowship scatters. Aragorn screams for everyone to run. Legolas and Gimli are trying to defend the hobbits. And in the chaos, Gandalf doesn't fall. He doesn't sacrifice himself. He walks up to Frodo, who's frozen in terror, and he says something that changes everything. "Give me the ring, Frodo." And Frodo, who trusts Gandalf more than anyone alive, hesitates. Because there's something in Gandalf's voice that he's never heard before. Something cold. Something final. "I can protect it better than you," Gandalf says. "I can keep it safe from Sauron. Give it to me. The Balrog is getting closer. The chamber is collapsing. Orcs are everywhere." And Frodo's hand moves toward the ring, not because he wants to give it away, but because the ring itself is responding to Gandalf's presence. The ring recognizes him as a worthy bearer, and that's the moment Frodo understands. Gandalf isn't trying to help them escape. Gandalf is the trap. So what happens next? Let's play this all the way through. The Fellowship is broken, literally shattered in the mines of Moria. Frodo escapes, but barely. Aragorn gets him out, but not before Gandalf takes something precious. He takes the ring. In this version, there's no chase to the bridge. No dramatic fall. Gandalf simply walks deeper into Moria with the Balrog at his back. But here's the terrifying part. He doesn't fight the Balrog. He commands it. See, in the original story, Gandalf defeats the Balrog because he's more powerful. Maia versus Maia. But in this version, Gandalf doesn't defeat the Balrog at all. He corrupts it. He uses the ring to bind the Balrog to his will. And now he has a demon of shadow and flame as his servant. This changes everything about the war to come. Aragorn leads the remaining Fellowship out of Moria. They're broken, confused. Sam is in shock. Merry and Pippin don't understand what happened. Boromir is furious. He knew they shouldn't have trusted a wizard. And Frodo is carrying something heavier than the ring now. He's carrying the guilt of trusting the wrong person. But here's the worst part. Without Gandalf, they have no guide. No leader, no one who knows what comes next. And the quest to destroy the ring? That's over. The ring isn't in Mordor. It's not even in the hands of the enemy. It's in the hands of someone far more dangerous. Someone who knows the plans. Of the Free Peoples because he helped make them. Gandalf. Knows about the Ents. He knows about Rohan. He knows about the paths of the dead. He knows about everything the heroes are going to try because he was the one who helped them figure it out in the first place. So when the Dark Wizard, let's call him what he is now, emerges from Moria, he doesn't go straight to war with Sauron. He's smarter than that. He takes his time. He gathers power. He builds an army in the shadows using the Balrog as his general. And he waits. Meanwhile, the ring is changing him. It's filling the gaps in his plan. It's showing him how to set up a new order where he sits at the top. Gandalf, or whatever he's becoming, doesn't want to destroy Middle-earth. He wants to save it. But his version of saving it means ruling it, controlling it, making all the decisions himself because he's convinced no one else can do it right. So now we have a three-way war. Sauron in Mordor, building his armies for the final assault. Gandalf the Dark in the Misty Mountains, gathering power with his Balrog army. And the Free Peoples caught in the middle with no wizard to guide them and no plan to destroy the ring. The Fellowship scatters. But not the way they do in the books. In this version, they're hunted. Gandalf knows all their names, their faces, their families. He knows where Aragorn was raised. He knows where Galadriel's realm is. He knows about the Grey Havens. There's nowhere to hide. Aragorn becomes a fugitive. He can't claim the throne of Gondor because Gandalf knows who he really is and will hunt him down. The Horn of Gondor becomes a signal of danger, not hope. Rohan falls faster. Without Gandalf's guidance, Theoden never breaks free from Saruman's influence. And Saruman? He's confused. He was expecting Gandalf to be his rival, not his ally. But Gandalf reaches out to Saruman, and together, the two wizards form something terrifying. A council of corrupted Istari, each with their own armies, each serving the new Dark Wizard. Frodo and Sam. What do they even do? The quest is gone. The ring is in Gandalf's hands. But Frodo still has a role, maybe the most important one. He's the only person who has carried the ring and given it up willingly. He's the only one who truly understands what it does to people. And in this version, his mission changes from destroying the ring to stopping the wizard who has it. But how do you stop a Maiar with the One Ring? The climax of this story isn't the Battle of the Pelennor Fields. It's not the Black Gate. The climax happens when the forces of Gandalf and the forces of Sauron finally meet on the battlefield. Two Dark Lords. Two Rings of Power is because Gandalf has the one and Sauron is still connected to it. And the Free Peoples have to decide which evil they're going to fight, or if they should let them destroy each other. In the end, this story isn't about Frodo or Aragorn. It's about the terrifying idea that the person who knows you best can also destroy you best. Gandalf's betrayal isn't just a plot twist. It's a warning. It's the story of what happens when someone believes they know better than everyone else. When they stop advising and start controlling. When they convince themselves that the only way to save the world is to rule it. And the scariest part? In some versions of this story, Gandalf actually wins. He defeats Sauron. He unites Middle-earth under his rule. He brings peace, but at the cost of freedom. No more wars. No more choices. Just one all-powerful wizard deciding what's best for everyone. And maybe that's the real darkness. Not the Balrog. Not Sauron. But a good person who became so convinced of his own rightness that he turned into the very thing he was supposed to destroy. If you want to see me break down another what if where a hero turns villain, hit subscribe as we're just getting started.